may all know this quote. Imagination is more important than knowledge. You might expect an artist or a filmmaker to say something like that. But Albert Einstein? Well, yes, you see, he understood how important creative thinking is in the innovation process. As we mentioned earlier, ideas are the seeds of innovation. No new ideas, no innovation. But just where do ideas come from? Well, we know they come from in here. Ideas are sparked by making spontaneous new connections and associations between different mental concepts or bits of information or memories in the mind. This is the process known as associative thinking. And it's important to know that the more associations and new connections you can make, the more new ideas you can think of. It's that simple. Now, for example, what would you get if you took the concept of tourism and you combined it with space travel? Anybody have any ideas what you would get? Well, you would get Sir Richard Branson's vision for Virgin Galactic, space tourism. And believe it or not, the first flights are scheduled to begin by the end of this year. And more than 600 people have signed up, paying, I think it's $250,000 apiece, to take a trip to the edge of space. Here's another one. What do you get when you take the leaping ability of a grasshopper and you combine it with a sneaker? Well, you get the Adidas Springblade running shoe. This revolutionary new shoe features 16 individual energy blades that are designed to propel a runner forward, right? It's pretty cool, right? All right, one last one. What do you get when you take the features and functionalities of a smartphone and you combine them with a wristwatch? You would get Samsung's Galaxy Gear wearable technology. Now you can have the convenience of a computer and a cell phone right on your wrist. So it looks like Dick Tracy's two-way wrist radio is finally becoming a reality. Well, as you can see, to think like an innovator, you need a fertile imagination. Right? You need to be a creative problem solver. And guess what? It's fun. Walt Disney thought so. He understood that creativity has the power to transform problems into opportunities, to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, or to imagine new realities and future realities that don't yet exist. But that's not all. Creative thinking is good for business. According to a recent IBM study, a group of 1,500 CEOs from around the world agreed that creativity was the most important leadership quality for success today. Would you believe it ranked higher than integrity and global thinking? Well, the question some of you may be asking yourselves right around now is, am I creative? So for fun, let's see a show of hands. How many people here would consider themselves highly creative? Okay, all modesty aside. Oh, good number of you. How many of you would consider yourselves somewhat creative? Okay. And how many of you would consider yourselves hopelessly left-brained and analytical? Okay, just a few of you. Great. Well, the good news is everyone is creative. Even if you have no artistic talent and you can't draw a stick figure or you can't write a cohesive sentence or carry a tune, you don't need any artistic talent whatsoever to be a creative problem solver. Each and every one of us, and even that guy in accounting, is creative. If we looked at the most creative thinkers of the last century, we'd find that they all shared 5 creative traits in common. First, they all had a strong sense of curiosity, an eager desire to know. They were inquisitive. They wanted to find out how things worked. Second, they all had vivid, fertile imaginations. They were able to envision new possibilities that did not exist yet. They also had a strong sense of intuition, that gut feeling, that sixth sense insight into the nature of a person or a thing or a situation. They were all highly perceptive. They were able to see opportunities that most other people just didn't notice. And finally, they all shared a sense of playfulness, a childlike joy in experimenting and exploring with and playing around with new and different ideas. So take a moment and look over this list of creative traits. How many of these do you recognize in yourself? Well, let's go through them and find out. Has anyone here ever been really curious about anything, really inquisitive about something, and felt compelled to find out more about it? So we gave you a check right away. Has anyone here ever imagined something that didn't exist yet, but yet saw great potential in it? Okay, we'll give you a check there. Have any of you ever had an intuitive insight about something that turned out to be true? If so, give you a check there. Have you ever noticed anything that other people just didn't see? It could have been a problem or an opportunity, and you saw it so plainly, but other people just didn't notice it? And finally, have you ever played around with ideas and came up with a great creative solution to a tough problem? If so how did you score? Are you surprised at how many of the same creative traits you share with these great innovators? Well, now that we've demystified creativity just a little bit, you can see that you possess everything it takes to be a great creative problem solver, as good as the very best of them. These are innate qualities we all share in common. And remember, it doesn't require any artistic talent. That's the big fallacy. You don't have to be able to draw or be able to write or have some kind of special way of expressing yourself. So see yourselves as a creative thinker. Recognize the innovator in you. Imagine new possibilities. Allow yourself to be curious and to explore. And remember that a game-changing idea can come from anyone at any time. All it takes is the courage to put it out there.